All right, welcome to the Ravit Show. It's day 2 at Gartner, Orlando, and I'm super excited to be with Murali, who's a data security expert, years of experience, I know, and not a new face to the Ravit Show. Ganesh, who's the CEO at TrustLogix, also the co-founder. Ganesh, welcome to the Ravit Show. Murali, welcome to the
Thank
Ravit
you.
Show. Super excited to be chatting with you all today. I know there's a lot of conversations that have happened around. You all have been chatting with a lot of customers. Ganesh, specifically you've been chatting with enterprise leaders, analysts. You all have been attending sessions. I'm kind of curious to know from you all, what have you all been hearing? But at the same time, also just for our audience, would you like to quickly introduce yourself, tell us more about yourself? Murli?
Sure. Thank you, Ravit. Thank you for having me in the show.
Yeah,
I am director for the data platforms in my company, and I
nice.
have like about 20 years of experience working in multiple roles and multiple size companies and so on. So one of the things that I am very curious in the current role is like how the data domains and the data product world is going to change with AI coming into picture. While we are moving toward the self-service agenda.
Yep.
And with all these things, like business will be able to take care of everything with AI, but who is going to take care of the security? That is a key
Very
thing
important
that I
point.
am worried about. So in the keynote also, like they hit on three important points. One is the trust, federated governance, and the security behind that one.
Yeah.
So we want to give the power to the users to take care of their business through self-service, but at the same time we need to ensure that the security aspects of AI and the data are managed at the enterprise level. Now it is not up to the business leader to decide on like how they will handle the security, because there are multiple implications on that one.
Yeah.
So, seeing that 3 points resonating in the keynote was a very good thing, I felt like.
It's more like the industry, the community, the leaders are kind of understanding what's happening. So that is something pretty cool. Ganesh, what are you hearing from customers? What are you hearing from leaders out there?
Yeah, so Ravit, thank you so much. It's good to be with you again. And we're at the Gartner Data Summit. This is really exciting. We are having so many discussions about the data, which we are really passionate about. Uh, look, the real core of it is the trust and quality, which I would love to talk about that, which we have been working on with many of our customers. I'm really excited.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's something pretty cool. What we've heard in at keynote. I'll obviously want to expand on that. So I talk to a lot of enterprise leaders too, and the big point is we are in that AI world where now data security, data governance, these kind of things play a very important role. What was the reason for you, Murli, to think about even starting to use TrustLogix? What was the reason there?
Sure, yeah. So as I said, like I play multiple roles and
Yeah.
mostly the ETL role. But when I became the owner for the data platform, then my first thought is like I need to now. Earlier in my old role, I was trying to poke holes in the security and keep working.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I am the owner for it, so I need to be aware of all these things and ensure that I'm giving a good platform for the company. But at the same time, why I was poking holes earlier? Because I was missing certain things. I want to provision that also to the users so that they can do the self-service while maintaining the enterprise security. We are a Snowflake shop. We set up everything in our side. Like I had full access, full controls. I was able to build it in a robust manner. But now looking at the next step as a leader, I have done it. But what is the guarantee that I am not going to make any mistakes?
Right. That is very important.
That is important. And what is the guarantee that when I am out, whomever is my backup is not going to screw up the system?
Yeah.
So what is the right path to have an independent verification, a governance authority,
Yeah.
and 24/7 monitoring? I'm going to do only for 7 hours or 8 hours. Who is going to take care of it 24/7?
True.
And how I'm going to do as per my knowledge, but who is going to bring the worldwide global standards into my place? So that is when I started looking out. TrustLogix was thinking in the exact same way. Their roadmap aligned with whatever I was doing and I was planning to do, and they were addressing my worries. So
Nice.
that's where we started
Nice.
our partnership.
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Ganesh, quick question for you. How do you kind of see organizations should be preparing for data that is used in AI? How do you see that happening?
Yeah, as I think you were saying earlier, the keynote, the talk, a lot of talk
Yeah.
about the two primary things that I would like to focus is the data quality, which really blocks the usage in the trust perspective, and then the data accessibility, right? People need to have access to the data, including the sensitive data, because the systems we're talking about is all about businesses, and the data is all about really the customer data, business data. It has SLS associated with it. So those are the two foundational things that organizations have to look at addressing. Uh, the quality is one, but from our perspective, TrustLogix side, we have been working with our customers like Murali and healthcare and financial companies. How can we enable, right? It's all about the data, empowerment, by giving them the tools,
Yep.
by giving them the control into where they give the data to the right people much faster, but also at the same time control,
Yes.
and then have visibility, and then also have reactive way of like making sure that
Yeah.
if someone is not using it as appropriately, or if they are sharing the data if they are not supposed to be sharing,
Very
able
important.
to detect that and then also take action on that.
Yeah.
So having the tool really helps out, and that also unblocks people, and it also builds a trust between the security and business people.
Right.
Wherein now security people can come and say that, look, we got visibility, we got control. Let our business teams use the data, but we'll help them out when it comes to data misuse, or when there is a data risk at the data usage perspective.
Just staying on this itself, one quick follow-up question as well for you,
Yeah.
Ganesh. What would be your advice for those data platform owners, or those enterprise leaders who are now implementing AI as well? Any advice that you feel
Yeah.
is that can help them to just be successful in the data environment?
Absolutely. We see this, a lot of times we run into discussions where people think that it's very complicated,
Yeah.
they can't do this. Um, one thing they could simply start with is the visibility, get visibility into, what's going on with the data.
Yeah.
There are tools, there are solutions out there available. They just need to make sure that they have the simple tools that allows them to secure the data and then
Very
get
true.
visibility into that. So starting right there will give them a lot more insights into how data is used, and also having some lineage visibility as well, how data is coming in and
Very
which AI
important.
application is using what data, and then who is using and who's got access to the data through the AI applications.
Yes.
So having that visibility really helps them, and then they can iterate on it and then go address any data leakage, any data issues around that.
Love it. Murli, one more quick question for you. As a data platform owner, how do you work with the security side of the business? Any use cases that kind of come out, or anything that you would like to share?
Sure. So that actually resonates with. I was going to follow up.
Yes, exactly.
Ganesh point. So one of the things Gartner called out in the keynote is like a freedom in the box. Right?
Very
So,
important.
freedom in the box. That is what like we want to empower the users. We want to give them the freedom, but we don't want them to go out of the box. Right? So this is not. This is the principle that I am enforcing, and I'm talking to our security teams also, saying like, okay, you don't want to be the restricting person over here. Instead of that, provide your box. What is your box? Define that one. Let the users use the freedom underneath that, within that boundaries.
Yes.
And now they get the privilege, and they get the basic controls. I mean, enterprise get the basic controls that needs to be in place, and security still forms the wall of preventing those boundaries that nothing comes in. With proper tools, proper process, right amount of freedom, gives like more self-service ownership for the users.
Love it.
And we are setting up data domains and data products. The success of that one depends on the freedom, first of all. And when we talk about the freedom, ownership, and the data quality, all three are like three sides of the triangle. It cannot like each one has to adjust, but it cannot go out of bounds.
Yes.
So that's the thing we are trying to teach, and it's a cultural change.
It's a cultural change.
It's a
True.
cultural change. So security teams does not play the traditional role. Now they have to adapt to the new environment, new model, new operating model.
Yeah.
That's another thing that we are trying to bring in.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to achieve.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting to see like Gartner is presenting that worldwide phenomena across the companies in data space.
Exactly, love it. Also, one quick question for both of you is how do you see the space evolving in next 1 year? Because things kind of move very quickly in our space, right?
Right.
But I'm kind of wanting to learn how do you see that in the next 1 year? What are the things? How will data leaders think about data protection, about data security differently, and to a road to success? Yeah.
So, as most of the people were talking about, like AI hype cycle is now in the second phase, where people are going to try experimenting and most of them are going to fail. So we understand that there is going to be a little bit of failure, but we want to use that as a learning so that we can use it for the next step where we can get the right solution. That's what, like, we don't want to uh, fall on our face, but even if we are end up falling, we want to fall carefully.
Yes.
So with whatever we are thinking as the right control mechanism, rather than taking any textbook mechanism, what is applicable for us? That is what is the right thing for us? What is our risk tolerance? We are looking from that perspective and taking the next steps over there.
Love it.
I believe that will be the right way for next 1 year because a lot of
Very
the things
cool.
are going to change.
Very cool. That's
Ganesh,
awesome, Murali.
Yeah, the way we see it, Ravit, is what is given is the data is going to be coming from different data ingestion systems, whether it's on-prem,
Right.
structured, semi-structured, unstructured, right? That's given. Its data is always sitting there in different places, different enterprises, and this data needs to be made available to the AI systems. And companies have to start preparing for helping Gen AI developers within their companies, right, to use the data. So for that to happen, they need to start with a platform or some structured way of methodically looking at classify the information, classify the data,
Yeah.
and then start putting some controls around the data, right? And then making sure that you have some visibility into that, and then also have access controls into who can access that data based on the user entitlements. And then if you have that foundation thing, and then you can now data can come from different places. It can be used from any data consumption platforms, LLM training purposes, analytic systems, analytic tools,
Yeah.
data lakes and data warehouse, right? It can go anywhere as long as you have the right security, right visibility in place. I think that's where I would suggest that companies start thinking about putting some foundation in place,
Very cool.
and then let them start picking up the data and then experimentation.
Very important. Those are fantastic points, Murali, Ganesh. Thanks for sharing that. One last question, and that is if folks want to reach out to you, learn more about data protection, data security, space in general, where can they do that? LinkedIn, X?
Yeah, so for us, they can always go to TrustLogix.io,
Yes.
and then if you are in the floor here in the summit, we got some great demos, AI data security demos. Come and talk to us here.
Amazing.
And then obviously you can also connect with us on the LinkedIn.
Amazing. Murali?
I am on LinkedIn. I'm happy to connect anytime.
Fantastic. This is such a great conversation. Thanks for sharing all the great insights. And I'm pretty sure our audience, enjoyed the AI security, data security part. And we'll keep the conversation going. And thanks once again, both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.